Fellow Tice, my friends. Hey guys, this is Zero to Mikitsune, and I've got to ask you something. Do you think a reviewer needs to be a professional gamer in order to review games? Now that may be an extreme way to put it, but I've been thinking about this ever since the Doom controversy came out, and something that really pushed the envelope was a Twitter post that I saw. Now the Twitter post was simply someone who had took a screenshot of a Forbes page asking why we need game reviewers to suck at games, and this sparked a dialogue between my friends over just how skilled a person needs to be at a video game to be qualified to review it. Now on the one hand, one argument made was that the game reviewer should be average or a little bit below average to review the game, as to get a good understanding on what the average player would experience. Now while I don't agree with that point, there is a kernel of knowledge in there that should be discussed. A game review is supposed to be a product guide, something to tell the consumer whether or not they'd be interested in the product. So if you're trying to tell the average gamer whether or not they like a game, shouldn't you come at it from their point of view? Now, a counterpoint made to this by another friend, and I don't necessarily agree with it either, was that a person reviewing a game should be a very skilled individual who will be able to dissect every little piece of the game because they understand it so well. They should be able to beat the game on the hardest difficulty in order to create a more comprehensive review. Now, I don't agree with this point either, as I feel that it sets the bar a little bit too high when it comes to the industry, and not only that, you don't necessarily need to be exceptionally proficient at the trade to be able to analyze it at a deep level. Personally, I think there's room for a happy medium, a pretty decently skilled individual who at the very least can play the game well enough to beat the game, maybe not on the hardest difficulty, but certainly not the easiest. If you can only beat the game on the easiest difficulty, then yeah, you're gonna miss out on a couple of key mechanics that were built into the game that people need to know of. But another little fun question is, who on the internet actually follows these sorts of scales when it comes to game skill? An example of someone following that sort of setup would be Total Biscuit, who has spoken clearly that he hates puzzle games and is not good at them, and as a result, reviews very few of them, to be honest. I think he actually goes out of his way to not review them, though I can't be sure. I'm not Total Biscuit. On the other hand, you have a person like Angry Joe, who reviews video game types like fighting games despite not really having a clean understanding of the mechanics and admitting publicly that he is a casual to the genre. Now, both of these critics are huge successes in their own right, both of them with their own large communities, and personally I enjoy seeing the content of both of them. Despite not having the talent or dedication in either genre to be truly called skilled in the art, I think they still create comprehensive and informative guides on the game genres, and I think that's really what is the most important. Can they do a comprehensive review despite not being skilled? And these two have shown that yes, they can. Now, a disclaimer would be nice if a player doesn't have the skills required. You can simply admit, I'm not good at this game, so take my review with a grain of salt, and if you need another one, go to someone else who does have the skill in this particular genre. But that's advertising another channel. Who the heck does that? Moving on. So that's what I think about the whole question of whether or not you need to be good at a game in order to review it. But what do y'all think? If you feel so inclined, please leave a comment in the comment section on whether or not you think you had to be actually good at a particular genre in order to be justified in reviewing it. I'd love to hear some opinions on the subject from my YouTube audience, since it created such a divide inside my own little group on whether or not you need to be skilled. But we are running out of time as I'm trying to keep these 5 minutes or less, so I guess I'll see you guys later. Whew.